Here we have Coach Bill Arnold, and he's going to talk about his early childhood days in Portland, Oregon.
Well, I grew up as a foster child. I lived with my mother. She was a single mother, and my 3 stepsisters until I was in the 8th grade. My father died when I was in the 6th grade, but I really didn't know him and had very little emotion towards him when he passed away, or it was really a rather insignificant thing. Then I went into foster care, and 2 of them weren't all that good. One of them wanted me to learn how to work, and he got Farmer of the Year, but he worked all 5 of us from sunup to sundown, and I really didn't appreciate that. But Russell Jorgensen, he really took care of me, and on the weekends I'd be able to see my mother, which played an important role because I could go to Wallace Park, where I spent many an hour learning to play baseball and honing my games. Some of the outstanding ball players at that period was Mickey Lolich and Johnny Pesky. From there, as I grew up, I developed longtime friends with the Cartelis family and others, and they have been friends of mine ever since. It's an interesting thing to say. I also went on to go to college after I was in the service and had the GI Bill. I went to Ouachita Baptist University, and on the way down, I met my wife on the 3rd day. We got married, and I came back. It was my junior year, and I said I was on a mission. I got my foster brother, my sister, her husband, and my closest friend, Harold Plow, former Marine, and they all went down with us. But they only stayed for 1 year, but eventually all of them received a college education and became quite successful. And for that, then I carried on, and then I went into coaching and into being a counselor. I spent 40 years in the field of education. When I was about 62, I decided to get my master's and in counseling. And I got certified, not just in one field, but I got certified kindergarten through the 12th grade, which I was only one of 3 in the whole state of Arkansas with that type of certification. And I retired at the age when I had in 40 years, and I was at that time, I was the age of 70. And it was I couldn't make any more money. I get full retirement and all privileges. And I also am able to draw Social Security. Hopefully they will continue. And from then on, I worked basketball camps and did other things. One of the great camps we had was a We Believe camp. With the help of Sports Stop in Little Rock, we were able to get shoes, basketballs, shorts and T-shirts, all at cost. And this has been our 3rd year, and this year we had over 60. The camp is totally free. Well, Mark Edwards has had us on Channel 11 for 3 consecutive years. This all started under a coach that I grew in love, former Marine, Ernie Cavisto. He taught me first about how to run a camp. And then at that time, he charged $30. But that was because he had personal costs of flying from East Aurora, Illinois, all the way to Arkansas. He did 2 camps. He did 1 camp in Clinton and 1 in Duval's Bluff. Paul Eels, the late Paul Eels, had him on television as well as in the newspapers. And he came running in and he said, "Are you the Ernie Cavisto?" And he said, "I don't know of any other one." He said, "Well, I'm from Quad Cities, Davenport, Iowa. I can remember when your teams annihilated us." Ernie's teams, when he first took on coaching at East Aurora, 11 games out of 12, they averaged over 105 points a game. I learned how to run the full court press. I played ball for 3 years, Coach Vining at Ouachita. Did a lot of sitting on the pine, but I also studied his system. So between the two, I had 2 of the most outstanding coaches to influence me. I've always been interested in youth. I would travel and carry them with us, some as far as Wabaseka, and I would pick them up and bring them home. Oftentimes they would stay overnight at my house. It wasn't anything that I was doing that was unique. People had taken care of me, and it was my chance to pay back to them. And so now you have a synopsis of my background.